yoga teacher today. Hello, I'm Jasmine, your yoga teacher for today. And we're teaching our Vinyasa class today. And also this class will be recorded. So we'll go ahead and get started and have us some fun here. Let's go ahead and find yourself here in easy seated position, bringing your hands to your knees or your favorite mudra that calls to you today. Allowing ourselves to connect with our breath. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Just continue breathing at your rhythm and at your pace. Just allowing ourselves to get centered in the moment. And give it one last inhale. And exhale. And also while we're here, let's set our intention for our practice. Always honoring our bodies and the space that we go in. And just knowing that's always a beautiful place to be. One more inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, allow your left ear to come down to your left shoulder. If you wish, you can use your left hand to give a gentle pressure at the crown of your head. Just for a couple of breaths here. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Same thing, opposite side. Right ear comes down to your shoulder. Use your right hand to give that gentle pressure, aiding in your neck stretch here. One more inhale. And exhale, release, bring your hand back down, head back to center. And from here, go ahead, allow your chin to meet your chest, maybe looking down. And exhale, slowly begin lifting your head back up. And gently allow your head to fall back, maybe look up at the ceiling. And exhale, release, bring your head back to the center. Wonderful. So from here, let's bring our left hand down to the mat, lifting your right hand, reaching all the way up to the ceiling. And if you wish, you can bend your left elbow, coming down to your forearm, just to aid and stretch all the way to your left side here. Holding it for a couple of breaths. And release, bringing your right hand all the way back down to your mat. Same thing, opposite side. Go ahead and lift your left hand, reaching all the way up to the ceiling. And again, bending that right elbow as you want. Just giving that extra stride stretch here, reaching your left hand all the way to your right side. One more inhale. And exhale, release, coming back up to center, bringing your left hand back to the mat. Beautiful. From here, we'll go for a spinal twist. Let's bring your right hand to your left knee, twisting to your left, bringing your hands behind you, and holding it here just for a couple of breaths. Beautiful. And one more inhale. And exhale, slowly release. Same thing, opposite side. Let's go ahead and twist to the right, bringing your left hand over to your right knee. Right hand reaches behind you, twisting to the right, and planting your hand onto your yoga mat or on the floor. Holding it for a couple of breaths here. Beautiful. And give it one more inhale. And exhale, release, twisting back to neutral. From here, let's bring our hands in front of us. Let's go ahead and begin crawling all the way in front of you. If you wish, you can use your yoga block as well to bring it in front of you and place your hands here, or you can come down to your forearms. It's just nice to be mindful of our back here, not making a C with our back, as that'll be equivalent to sitting slouched on the couch, which can cause us some pain. We don't want that. So just holding it for a couple of breaths to where it feels good for you here. And one more inhale. And exhale, slowly begin crawling your way back up to easy seated. And from here, we will go ahead and stretch both legs out, coming into your wide leg seated pose. Find your alignment and your adjustment here, sitting nice, strong, and tall. And once you're ready, inhale, allowing your left ear to come down to your left shoulder. And if you wish, again, using your left hand to give that gentle pressure at the top of your head. Deep inhale. And exhale, release, bring your left hand back down, head back to center. Once you're ready, same thing opposite side, right ear comes down to your right shoulder, and using your right hand to give that gentle pressure to help with your neck stretch. Beautiful, and one more inhale here. And exhale, release back to center. Once you're ready, allowing your chin to come down to your chest, maybe looking down at your mat. And exhale, slowly begin bringing your head back up to center. And this time, gently allow your head to fall back. Maybe look up at the ceiling. And exhale, bring your head back down to center. Beautiful. And once you're ready from here, let's bring our left hand down to the mat. Right hand reaches all the way up to the ceiling. And again, if you wish, you can come down to your left forearm. Just to give more of a stretch here, reaching your right hand to your left side. Beautiful, and one more inhale. And exhale, release, coming back up to center. Right hand comes all the way down, lifting your left hand all the way up. Again, bending your right forearm as you need, reaching your right hand over to your left, reaching your left hand to your right side. Beautiful, and give it one last inhale. And exhale, release, coming back up to center. So we can go for a spinal twist here. So let's bring our right hand up front, twisting to the left, reaching your left hand behind you, allowing it to fall gently onto the floor or yoga mat, holding it here for a couple of breaths. One more inhale. And exhale, release, twisting back to center. Let's do the same thing, opposite side. Left hand up front, twist to the right, reaching your right hand behind you, holding it for a couple of breaths. Wonderful. One more inhale. And exhale, release, twisting back to neutral. And now that we have both hands up front, let's go ahead and begin to crawl all the way in front of us. Just reaching your hands again. If you would like to reach just in front of you, just to keep a straight back here, you can. Again, we just want to be mindful that we're not just completely seeing our back. Just reaching all the way in front of you, and again, using your yoga block, if you wish. And if you wish for a deeper stretch, you can reach your hands towards your feet and pull forward, bringing your head closer down to the floor. Holding it just for a couple more breaths. Beautiful. One last inhale. And exhale, release, coming back up to center. And from here, we're gonna make our way to tabletop. So let's go ahead and do that. Come on to all fours. Quick alignment check is making sure that we have our shoulders above our wrists and our hips above our knees. You can keep your toes tucked or you can untuck them. Just doing what feels good here today. We'll go for our cat-cow. So inhale, dropping the belly, gaze looking forward. And exhale, rounding the shoulders, arching the back. Inhale, dropping the belly, gaze looking forward. And exhale, rounding the shoulders and arching your back. Maybe looking at your belly button. One last inhale, dropping the belly, gaze looking forward. And exhale, rounding your shoulder, arching your back. Beautiful. Take a breath, coming back to your neutral tabletop. And once you're here, let's go for our balancing table. So taking your right foot, stretch it all the way behind you. Finding your stability here, take your left hand, reach right in front of you. Give it a deep inhale. And exhale, bringing just your left hand back to the mat. Let's take our right foot and stretch it out to your right side here. Now actually turn towards the camera. So from here, I have my leg out. Stretch it out to your right side. And from here, we'll go to a thread the needle. So go ahead and lift, twisting to the left, lifting your left hand up to the ceiling. And exhale, bring your left hand all the way down, thread your needle under your right arm, and allow yourself to come all the way down to your left shoulder and to the side of your head here. And if you wish to take your bind, you can take your right hand reaching all the way up to the ceiling. Allow it to come down behind your back and grab a piece of your thigh here. And if you wish, you can twist up a little bit more to where you're looking up at the ceiling. One more inhale. And exhale, release your bind, bring your right hand all the way back down to the mat. Using it as your strength to lift your chest, bring your left hand back to the mat and step your right foot back to your neutral tabletop. Twisting back to the front. So from here, let's do the same thing opposite side. So take your left foot, stretching it all the way behind you. Find your balance and stability here. Taking your right hand, reaching right in front of you. Just holding it here for a breath. Inhale. And exhale, bringing your right hand down to the mat. Let's go ahead and stretch this left foot all the way out to your left side. And once you're ready, we're going to thread our needle. So go ahead and lift your right hand, reaching all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your right hand all the way down your left, coming all the way down to your shoulder and the side of your head here. And if you wish, you can keep your yoga bond, lifting your left hand to the ceiling. Allow it to come all the way down your back and grabbing a piece of your thigh here. And again, if you wish, you can twist, you can bring your gaze to looking up at the ceiling. Holding it for a couple of breaths. One last inhale. And exhale, release your body, bring your left hand all the way back down to your mat. So you can use it as your strength to lift your chest, bringing your right hand back to the mat, stepping back to your neutral tabletop. Beautiful. From here, we're gonna come back into our child's pose. So once you're ready, go ahead and widen your knee stance a little bit so your big toes can meet together. Slowly again, rolling your hips back down to child's pose. If you want, you can come down just to your forearms or even using your yoga block to come on down to there. Or if you wish, you can reach your hands all the way in front of you for your extended child's pose, bringing your chest closer down to the mat as well as your head. Just holding it for a couple of breaths here. Then give it one more inhale. And exhale, slowly begin to roll your way back up to your neutral tabletop here. Beautiful. Once you're ready, we can go ahead and tuck those back toes so we can easily lift our hips and our knees off the mat, pushing our hips back, coming into our first downward dog here. Just having our hands nice and wide, flat on the yoga mat, maybe bending one knee after the other, just to add a little bit more movement for our downward dog here. Beautiful. One more inhale. And exhale, bringing your gaze to where your hands are on the mat. Go ahead and jump or step to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold here. Grabbing your ankles or your calves, or keeping your hands planted to the mat, allowing your head to come closer to your knee here. And if you wish, you can bend your knees as well, bringing your head closer towards your knee. Just be mindful of what feels good for us here. One more inhale. And exhale. Slowly begin to lift your chest, reaching your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Allow your palms to meet together. Exhale, bring your hands all the way down to heart center. And release your hands to your sides, palms facing forward, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful. Give yourself a nice open heart, open chest here. Deep inhale and exhale. Once you're ready, inhale, lifting your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, diving down for your forward fold, grabbing your ankles or your calves. Wonderful. Give it another inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, bring your head up, gaze looking forward to having a nice flat back here for a half forward fold. You can have your hands to your shins or fingertips to the mat. And once you're ready, inhale, bending your knees, plant your hands onto the mat, and go ahead and step back into a plank pose. Once you're here, slowly begin to lower your body down to the mat, untucking your back toes, rise to your cobra. Beautiful. And inhale, tucking your back toes. You can lift your hips, coming back to a downward dog, pressing your hips back. Again, maybe looking at your belly button here too. And if you wish, you can give your downward dog some movement, bending one knee at the other, or just bending both so you can get some extra flex here. Beautiful. Bringing your gaze to where your hands are on the mat. So you can jump or step to the front of the mat. Coming back to a forward fold. We finish almost one sun salutation. On your next inhale, slowly begin to lift, bringing your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Allow your palms to meet together. Exhale, bring it down to heart center. Now completing sun salutation one. Let's go for another one. Inhale, lifting your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, diving down for your forward fold. Beautiful. One more inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, hand up, gaze looking forward, coming into a half forward fold. Again, hands to your shins or fingertips to the mat. Just having a nice straight back here. And exhale, slowly begin bending your knees. Plant your hands onto the mat. Step back to your plank. Slowly lower your body down to the mat. Untuck your back toes. Rise to cobra. Wonderful. On your next inhale, tucking your back toes, go ahead and lift, pushing your hips back, coming back to your downward dog. Wonderful. Just take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to gaze to where our hands are on the mat. Let's go ahead and jump or step to the front of the mat, coming back to your forward fold here. And exhale. On your next inhale, slowly begin to lift, reaching your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Allow your palms to meet together. Exhale, bring it down to heart center. Beautiful. Release your hands to your sides, coming back to mountain pose. In a deep inhale and exhale. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come into our chair pose, Utkatasana pose. And so once you're ready, slowly begin to bend your knees and lift your hands right in front of you, all the way up to where it feels good for your shoulders here. If you want, you can bring your palms to meet together as well, or you can just hold your fingertips pointing up. And inhale, slowly begin to bend forward, bring your hands all the way down to your mat. Come into your forward fold here. If you wish, you can straighten your knees just to take the full fold. Beautiful. On your next inhale, to bring it to your half forward fold, gaze looking forward, fingertips to the mat or to your shins. Just again, having a nice flat back here. And exhale, bending your knees, plant your hands onto your mat, step back into your plank pose. Slowly begin lowering down to the mat, to untuck your back toes, rise to your cobra. Beautiful, and give a deep inhale. And exhale, tucking your back toes, go ahead and lift your hips back into your downward dog. Beautiful. From here, we're going to take our right foot and step it all the way to the front of the mat here, making sure our knee is above our ankles here, anchoring those back toes at your 45-degree angle. Slowly rise to your warrior one. Wonderful. Hold it here for a breath. And exhale, opening up to your warrior two, twisting your torso to the left, stretching both arms out to your side. And if you want to, you can bend a little bit more for your warrior one. Wonderful. And slowly begin to bring it back to your warrior one. I said warrior one earlier, I meant warrior two. Reaching both hands all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, bringing both hands all the way back down to your mat. From here, we can unanchor that back foot and step the right foot back into your plank again. Slowly begin lowering your body down to the mat, untucking those back toes, rise to your cobra. Wonderful. Your next inhale, tucking your back toes, go ahead and lift, shifting, bring your hips back, coming back to a downward dog here. And once you're ready, we'll do the same thing opposite foot. So taking your left foot, just go ahead and stretch it and bring it all the way to the front of the mat, anchoring your back foot at a 45-degree angle. Slowly begin to rise, reaching your hands all the way up, coming to warrior one. And again, a good alignment check is just to make sure our hips and our torso are facing towards the front. Sometimes we tend to turn out. Let's just make sure we're torn forward and our hands all the way up. Beautiful. Once you're ready, opening up to your warrior two, turning your torso just to the right side and stretching both arms out to your side. We're going to keep this front knee bent forward like we were in our warrior one. And if you wish, you can lean a little bit more into it. Just so you can feel that thigh stretch here. Deep inhale. And exhale, let's bring our right hand back to the front, coming back to a warrior one, reaching both hands all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale, bring your hands all the way back down to your yoga mat. From here, let's unanchor that back foot. Let's just step back into a plank again. Slowly begin lowering your body down to the mat, untucking those back toes, rise to your cobra. Beautiful. One more inhale. And exhale, tucking your back toes. Let's go ahead and lift back into our downward dog. Sending our hips backwards, straightening the arms forward. And if you wish, you can bend your legs at your knees again. Beautiful. Bringing our gaze to our hands on the mat, and we can jump or step to the front of the mat, coming back to your forward fold. Beautiful. Give it one deep inhale and exhale. From here, once you're ready, slowly begin bending your knees. So we come back into our chair pose, reaching both hands up, lifting our torso. Fingertips come all the way to the ceiling. And just hold it here. Beautiful. One more inhale. And exhale. Allow yourself to stand tall, palms meet together. Exhale, bring it all the way down to heart center. Beautiful. Release your hands to your sides, palms facing forward. And from here, we're going to do a small balancing of the tree pose. And we'll also do leg lifts after that. So once you're ready, shifting your weight to your right foot. And we're going to go ahead and bring it all the way to our tree pose. Again, checking our feet to make sure they're pointing forward, not too out, not too in, just straight forward. And once you're ready, go ahead and bring your left foot up to your tree pose. You can bring the bottom of your foot to your calf or your inner thigh, just not to your knee. You can even use your ankle, your heel to put your heel on your ankle, just to do some toe taps. Just holding it here for our tree pose. Inhale, lifting your hands all the way up. Allow your palms to move together. And exhale, bring it down to heart center. Hold it here. And release your hands to your sides. And shake it out, bring your left leg out, coming out of your tree pose. Shake it out, shake it out. Once we're ready, we'll do the same thing, opposite leg. So go ahead and shift your weight to your right, your weight to your left hip here. Making sure our toes are pointing forward, not too out, not too in. Once you're ready, go ahead and lift your right foot, come into your tree pose. Again, bringing your foot either heel to your ankle or the bottom of your feet to your calf, or bring it all the way up using your hands to all your inner thigh here. Beautiful. Once you're ready, inhale, lift your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Allow your palms to move together. And exhale, bring it all the way down to heart center. Hold it here. And release your hands to your sides. Go ahead and kick out your tree pose. Shake your legs out, shake it out. Maybe do a little dance here. Now let's go ahead and go for our knee lift. So once you're ready, go ahead and shift your weight back to your right hip again. And we'll bring our left knee all the way up, just to where your knee is more parallel with your hip here, just making a nice straight line. It's okay if you have it down. Again, honoring that space by where our bodies go in here. Inhale, lift, breathing all the way up to the ceiling. Kind of like how we were doing for our tree pose, but this time we're going to hold our legs just out. Palms meet together. And exhale, bring it all the way back down to heart center. Release your hands to your sides. Hold it here. And exhale, release your left leg, coming back down. Shake that out again. We're using a lot of calf muscles just standing on one foot. So let's do the same thing opposite side. Shift your weight to your left hip here, making sure your toes are nicely pointed forward. And once you're ready, go ahead and lift your right knee, bringing it more parallel to your hip here. Or again, if you wish, you can keep it down. That's totally fine. Just allowing ourselves to find our balance here. Inhale, lift your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Allow your palms to meet together. And exhale, bring it all the way down to heart center. Holding it here. And release your hands to your side. Go ahead and bring your right foot back down. Beautiful. Shake it out, shake it out. Sliding ourselves back into mountain pose. Inhale, lift your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, diving down for your forward fold. Here we won't stay too long in our forward fold. So go ahead and bend your knees, plant your hands onto the mat, and step both feet back into a downward dog. Beautiful. And this time in our downward dog, we're going to find a three-legged downward dog. So go ahead and take your right foot, if you wish, to reach it all the way up to the ceiling, or even just behind you, or just to where it feels good for you to lift it. So if that's here today, that's fine. If that's here today, if that's here today, all that's beautiful. Beautiful. Bending your right foot, your right knee. And let's go ahead and bring it all the way to the front of the mat in between your hands. And from here, anchor your back foot and slowly begin to straighten your front knee, coming here into a pyramid pose. If you have your yoga blocks, you can use those as well. So you see I have them on the side of my front foot, and I can use my blocks to kind of lift me up a little bit. Or even if I want to use the tall side here. Or if you don't have yoga blocks and you still find it a little bit difficult to reach all the way down, you can have your hands to your shins, just to be able to lift your torso up a little bit. Just not to your knees. You don't want to put too much pressure on your knee like that. So you just do your shin instead, or even your thighs. Okay. Just holding it for a couple more breaths here. And on your next inhale, keeping your left hand planted onto the mat, go ahead and go for your Revolve Triangle, where you twist to the right, reaching your right fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Beautiful. One last inhale. And exhale, bring your right hand all the way back down to your yoga mat. And from here, we'll go for our neutral triangle pose. Let's bring our right hand to your inside of your foot. So from here, or you can use your yoga block as well. And once you're ready, twisting to the left, opening up, reaching both your left hand all the way up to the ceiling. And just making sure we have a nice open heart, open chest here. One last inhale. And exhale, release, bringing your left hand all the way back down to your yoga mat. And from here, we still have hand, foot. So once you're ready, go ahead and begin to bend this front knee forward. So this is easier for us to unhook this back foot coming to a lunge. So let's go ahead and take this right foot and scoot it out to the right side of your mat so you can get some open space for your arm. Coming into a lizard pose. And from here, you can bring your left hand down to the mat. Untuck your back toes. And if you wish, we can either stay here or allow yourself to come down to your forearms, even using your yoga block as well, to come down to your forearms. You can have your gaze looking down at your yoga mat or have your gaze looking forward. Just doing what feels good for you here and holding it for a couple of breaths. And give it one last inhale. And exhale, come back onto the palms of your hands, lifting your chest back up, coming back to a neutral mat. And from here, we're going to go for a spinal twist with our lizard. So keeping your left hand planted to the mat, go ahead and twist to the right, reaching your right fingertips up to the ceiling. And exhale, twist all the way behind you, allowing your right hand to come down to the back of your left thigh. And if you wish, you can go ahead and bend your back knee, allowing your right hand to grab onto your foot. Maybe bring it a little bit closer to you. And if you want, if you feel good for it, you can sink your hips a little bit more, turning your right foot out towards the side of your mat, just to be able to deepen your pose here. Give it one more inhale. And exhale, release your back foot, bringing your toes back to the mat. Bringing your right hand all the way back to the front, coming back to neutral. Wonderful. So here we can bring our foot back in, toes pointed forward. And right here, let's go ahead and tuck our back toes. We can lift that knee off the mat. Let's go ahead and bring our right foot back to the center again. So now we have hand, foot, hand. And go ahead and step it back to your downward dog. Beautiful. From here in our downward dog, let's go ahead and do our three-legged downward dog, taking your left foot. And again, lifting behind you or all the way up to the ceiling. Just finding our balance here, stability, and getting that extra stretch. One more inhale. And exhale, bending your left knee. Go ahead and bring it all the way to the front of the mat. Stepping that front foot here. And go ahead and anchor your back foot. Bringing it at a nice 45-degree angle. And again, if you have your yoga blocks, we can bring them to the side of our front foot. Slowly begin straightening your front knee, coming into pyramid pose. Okay? So even here, we can have our gaze looking forward, or we can bring our head closer down to your knee. And just holding it here for a pyramid pose for a couple of breaths. One more inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, go ahead and plant your right hand onto the mat. We're going to go for our revolve triangle. We're going to take your left hand, twisting all the way to the left, reaching your left fingertips up to the ceiling. Hold it here for a breath. And exhale, release, bring your left hand all the way back down to the mat. And this here, we'll go for our normal triangle. Let's bring our left hand to the inside of your left foot here. And once you're ready, keeping your left hand planted to the mat or to your ankle, we're going to go ahead and twist to the right, reaching our right hand all the way up to the ceiling, fingertips pointing up. Holding it here for a couple of breaths. And exhale, release, bringing your right hand all the way back down to your yoga mat. And we'll come into our lizard pose from here. So let's go ahead and bend this front knee forward, unanchor this back foot, coming back to a lunge here. Let's go ahead and use our left foot to scoot it out to the left side of your mat to give a nice wide foundation for your lizard pose here. And once you're ready, we can slowly begin to bring our right knee down to the mat, untucking your back toes. And either if you wish to stay here, or we can come all the way down to your yoga mat. Bringing your forearms down, gaze looking down to your mat or looking forward. And again, if you wish to deepen your pose a little bit, you can take your left foot and turn your toes towards the outside of your mat here. This gives you a nice deeper pose and hip opener in your lizard. One more inhale. And exhale. Let's go ahead and begin to lift our chest, bringing the palms of our hands back to your mat. Just so we can go for a twisted lizard pose. So once you're ready, keeping your right hand planted to the mat, go ahead and twist to the left, raising your left hand all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale, twist all the way behind you, allowing your hand to come to the back of your thigh. And if you wish, you can bend your back knee, allowing your left hand to grab onto your toes, bringing your foot a little bit closer to you. And again, I have my toes pointing outward towards the outside of the mat or towards the side of the mat. One last deep inhale. And exhale, release your back toes, bringing your toes back to the mat. Bringing your left hand all the way back to neutral lizard pose. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and bring your toes pointed forwards again. And from here, let's go ahead and tuck our back toes. We can lift that back knee off the mat and bring your left foot back to the center. So now we have hand, foot, hand here. Just so it's easier for us to step into a downward dog. Wonderful. And this time we won't stay too long in our downward dog. So let's go ahead and bring our gaze to where our hands are on the mat and go ahead and jump or step to the front of the mat, back into a forward fold. Deep inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, slowly begin lifting your chest, bring your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Allow your palms to meet together. Exhale, bring your hands all the way down to heart center. Keeping our hands at heart center, we'll come to a yogi squat. So I'll go ahead and face towards the front of the camera. And from here, I'm going to widen my stance a little bit. So you'll see my toes pointing a little bit outwards, but not completely too outward. I look like too uncomfortable with my ankles, so just a little bit out. But coming down to your yoga squat, just be mindful that you might have to bring your feet a little bit more in, or you might want to spread them out a little bit more. Everybody's body is unique and different. So let's just be mindful and listen to our bodies here. And keeping our hands at heart center, let's go ahead and bring it down to our yoga squat. So go ahead and begin to bend your knees, slowly bringing your hips all the way down. Just taking your time to engage your muscles here. And slowly bring all the way down. And again, if you need to adjust your feet, go ahead and do that as you're coming down. And we're going to go ahead and lock our elbows to the inside of our knee or our thigh here. Beautiful. Just holding it here where it feels good for our yoga squat, having a nice straight back, maybe looking up at the ceiling. And again, we're using our elbows to either bring it in a little bit more, or you can use them to open up our hips here. Just allowing ourselves to feel good in our practice, wherever we are today. And we'll go ahead and go for a spinal Yogi Twistle. So bring our left hand to the mat or to your floor. Twist to the right, reaching your right hand all the way up here. And as you see, I'm kind of locking my elbow at the outside of my thigh here, or the inside of my knee here still, just so I can get that extra pressure and twist in my twist. One more inhale. And exhale, coming back to neutral, bringing your hands back at heart center. Wonderful. Now let's do the same thing opposite side. Let's bring your right hand down to the mat. Twist to the left, reaching your left hand up to the ceiling. And again, locking my right elbow to my right knee here or your thigh. And release, coming back to neutral. Palms at heart center. Take a breath here, inhale. And exhale, let's release our hands, bring them a little bit behind us so we can come all the way down to our butt. So we can kick our legs to the front, coming into our staff pose. Beautiful. From here, let's bring our hands to our thighs, fingertips facing towards the front of the mat. And take a breath here. Deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lifting your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, diving down for your forward fold, grabbing your ankle, your calf, or reaching all the way to your toes here. And again, being mindful of our back so we're not completely making a face to where it hurts later. So if you have it in your practice to bring your head all the way down to your legs, you can. One last inhale. And exhale, slowly coming out of your forward fold. Lifting your chest all the way back up. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to go to our head to knee pose. So bring your left foot to your inner thigh. Inhale, reaching your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, diving down for your forward fold. Again, either here grabbing your toes, your ankles, or even your shin. Or if you wish, you can go ahead and bring your head all the way down, holding it here for a couple of breaths. One more inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and slowly begin to release. coming back out of your fold here, lifting your head all the way back up. Just so we can do the same thing opposite side. So go ahead and stretch your left foot out to the front of the mat. Bring your right foot to the inside of your thigh here, kind of making like a little flag pose with your legs. Knee pointing out towards your side. Inhale, lifting your hands all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale, diving down, grabbing your ankle, your shins, or your toes. And once you're ready, slowly begin bringing your head closer down to your knee, holding it for a couple of breaths. And one last inhale. And exhale, begin to release, slowly coming out of your fold here. And once you're ready, coming all the way back up, stretch your right foot out to the front of the mat. Wonderful. So from here, we're going to do a half lotus bind. So let's bring our left foot all the way towards the top of your right thigh here. So your foot is laying on top of your leg, that's all. Once you're ready, take your left hand, reach in front of you, but go ahead and reach all the way behind you, reaching around your back. And then if you wish, you can reach towards the side of your body, like I am here. Or you can go ahead and reach all the way towards your toes. So I'm grabbing my toes here. Inhale, reaching your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, diving down, grabbing your toes here, your ankle, or your shins. Again, just making sure we have a nice straight back here. Gaze looking forward and holding it for a couple of breaths. One last inhale. And exhale, release. Coming out of your yoga bar, releasing the toes and your front toes. Stretching your left leg all the way to the front of your mat. Let's do the same thing opposite side. Right foot comes to the top of your left thigh here. Taking your right hand, reaching all the way behind you, all the way across your back, and go ahead and reach all the way towards your foot here. And again, if you wish, you can grab a side of your back instead, or your side. Once you're ready, inhale, lift your left hand all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, diving down, grabbing your toes, or your ankles, or your shins. And again, just making sure we have a nice straight back here. Holding it for a couple of breaths. Beautiful. Give it one last inhale. And exhale begins to come out of your body, releasing your front toes, stretching your right foot all the way out to the front of the mat here. And while we're here, let's go ahead and do a check to make sure our butts are in the middle of the mat, just so we can easily lay all the way back, coming into our bridge pose. So here we'll do 2 bridges and 1 wheel if it's in your practice, or 3 bridges. So let's just be mindful of where we are in our practice today and act accordingly. So once you're ready, coming into our first bridge, planting your hands to the side of your body or to your feet, and bring your heels closer towards your hips here. And we'll use our hands to put pressure to be able to lift our hips. So once you're ready, on your next inhale, go ahead and begin to lift your hips, coming into a bridge here. If you wish, you can lace your fingertips together behind you. If you want to give an extra stretch here. Deep inhale. And exhale, unlace your fingers, bringing them back to the side. Slowly begin to bring your hips all the way back down to your mat. Beautiful. Take a breath here. And exhale. We'll go for our second bridge. So once you're ready, take in our stance and our alignment with our hands on the side of our head, or side of our feet closer towards your hips. Slowly begin to lift. Inhale, reaching your hips up to the ceiling. And again, if you wish to lace your hands behind you, you can. One more inhale. And exhale, unlace your hands if they have them laced. Slowly bring your hips all the way back down to your mat. Beautiful. Take a breath here. Inhale and exhale. So either we're going to take our third bridge or you can come to your wheel practice. So if you're going to take your third bridge, go ahead and bring your hands to your sides. Or if you're going to take your wheel, bring your hands towards the side of your ears here. Bring your tips facing towards your shoulders. Once you're ready, inhale, begin to lift your hips into your bridge or your wheel. Holding it for a couple of breaths. If you wish to advance your wheel a little bit, you can come down to your forearms. Just holding it for an extra breath. And release. Slowly begin to bring your hips all the way back down, coming to your, bringing your hips all the way back down, coming all the way out of your wheel or your bridge here. Once you're ready, let's go ahead and bring both knees to our chest. Give ourselves a little hug here. Maybe rock side to side a little bit. Just to offset that bridge or that last wheel we just took. Beautiful. Once you're ready, just go ahead and stretch your left knee, your left foot out to the front of the mat. Making sure I'm in the middle of my mat here. Just to give it a little stretch. Maybe rocking it side to side. Beautiful. And when you're ready, using your right hand, let's go ahead and grab onto your toes or your ankle. And go ahead and stretch your foot all the way up to the ceiling here. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Slowly begin to bring your right foot down to your right side. And it's okay if it doesn't come all the way down to your right side. Just to where it feels good here. Beautiful. One last inhale. And exhale. Slowly begin to bring your right foot back to the center. Feet pointing up at the ceiling. And exhale. Begin to bend your right knee. So you can easily unhook your toes or your ankle. Now stretch your right foot back to the front of the mat. Let's do the same thing opposite leg. So bring your left knee up to your chest. Give it a little hug here. Maybe rock it side to side. Beautiful. Deep inhale. And exhale. And once you're ready, let's go ahead and bring your left hand to either grab onto your ankle or your toes here. Bringing your left foot all the way up to the ceiling. Holding it for a breath. And exhale, slowly bringing your left foot all the way down to your left side. And just holding it here. Beautiful. And slowly begin bringing your left foot all the way back up to the ceiling here. So you can easily bend your left knee so you can unhook your toe or your ankle. Stretching your left foot all the way back out to the front of the mat. Allowing us to come here into Savasana. While we're in Savasana, we can think of something that makes us happy, something that brings us joy in the day. Allow ourselves to be full of that exciting emotion, just so we can present it to someone else that might need just that happiness and joy that you have within yourself. Spread the love. So I'll go ahead and be quiet so we can have a few moments of meditation and winding down. And I'll cue us on when we can start waking back up and end our class for today. And once you're ready, we can begin to wiggle our toes, wiggle our fingers, and slowly bringing our consciousness back to our bodies. And once you're ready, we can slowly begin stretching just before we come into easy seated. Just giving the last few stretches here. Anything that our body feel called to do. Again, taking your time, just making your way back to easy seated here. Bringing our hands to our knees or to your favorite mudra that calls to you today. Connecting back with our breath here. Take a deep inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, begin to lift your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Allow your palms to meet together. Exhale, bring it down to heart center. And again, inhale, lift your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Palms meet together. And exhale, bring it down to heart center. And one last real big inhale, reaching your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Hold it here. And exhale, palms meet together, bring your hands all the way down to heart center. And my favorite part of class is always reminding everyone how amazing and how loved and protected you all truly are, always and forever. I wish everyone to have a wonderful evening going forward and a wonderful week as well going forward. With that being said, namaste. So thank you again for joining class today. I wish you a wonderful week, like I mentioned, and have a good day. Sending love.